Hi, my name is Nadia Barbosa, and I oversee all things business at Tandem Experiences.
Hi, my name is Mariel Marshall, and I oversee product at Tandem Experiences.
Hi, I'm Orion Buske. I oversee technology at Tandem Experiences.
The problem that Tandem Experiences is solving is all about discovery, discovering new things to do and new people to do them with.
People living in Toronto reported that they were more lonely than any other city in Canada.
We know that the World Health Organization recently declared loneliness a global crisis, with a quarter of the global population feeling lonely. So it's a huge problem, and we'd like to, start in a city where we're really familiar with, where we can make a real impact and a real difference. So what we're really building is the Netflix, but for in-person experiences.
Technology has provided a great opportunity to allow us to communicate with each other, but in terms of connection, it's sort of like empty calories. It doesn't really actually help us feel that, and we need in-person events. I think a lot of the last couple of years have really clarified how important that is for all of us and our well-being.
How did Tandem Experiences come to be? That is a great question.
Orion and I had actually been thinking about these ideas for a while. We received an incredible opportunity, a grant from the Canada Council for the Arts to work on audience experience and audience engagement. And at the time, it was actually a professor here at Toronto Metropolitan University, Professor Awais Lightwalla, and he said, there is a person who you have to meet, and she's in the MBA program. And of course, that was Nadia Barbosa. And we'd been really wanting to figure out how to turn some of these ideas into a business solution, how to make something that would take off, that would really solve a problem. So when we met, it was just such a perfect marrying of the minds. You in business, myself
In product, and Orion in technology.
Awais Lightwalla has been an advisor and such a critical part of our team, but not only that, he has connected us with so many resources that stem out of TMU, which include the Innovation Boost Zone, which is one of our incubators and accelerators that really focuses on early and growth stage companies that have a technical component, deep tech, that are solving complex problems.
We were actually at the Innovation Boost Zone when we brought on our first employee, who is also a TMU student. And we were also able to leverage a number of opportunities such as the MyTax program, as well as just even connecting in with, how do we hire students? How do we get the talent, the team developed that we need?
And having an office space is
yes.
amazing. I mean, it's shocking with how empty the office spaces seem to be in downtown, but it's actually really difficult as an early stage startup to get access to spaces that work at that stage and for the budget.
My advice to entrepreneurs is that get ready. It is a long haul. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. And most people don't see the behind the scenes, and it takes 10 years to be an overnight success. When you are setting large goals, you really should be breaking them down into smaller steps to make it more digestible. And then of those small steps, it is super important to celebrate the wins, just to keep yourself and your team motivated.
I think one of the things that I would recommend to a first-time founder or entrepreneur is to really know your why. Why are you doing this? What is the problems that you're motivated to solve? I think that's really important in order to avoid burnout and stay true to the core of why you're doing what you're doing.
For me, I think a lot of entrepreneurs, you're going to get a lot of advice. And some of that advice may be competing advice from different advisors who you may really trust. Don't be afraid to take good advice and just discard the rest.
So I think the future of Tandem Experiences is really taking the learnings of our Things to Do Discovery app, our social club, and really taking it from building connections online to in real life.
We're doing an AI innovation internship this fall, exactly looking at that challenge and doing R&D experiments around it to see if we can, make an impact, move that challenge around online to in person. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Thanks so much for watching.